Welcome to the board of the Bantu. The board of the Bantu. The board of 245 million plus and strong. The board of the brave. The beautiful. And all that jazz. Okay, so this morning I'm in a really relaxed state of mind, which is good. The other day on TikTok, when I was talking about shells and I was throwing a shell, the egg told me that I was tired and I needed to rest because I was doing too much. So I took a short break and now I'm back, and you know what? It actually feels so good. They were right. They were truly right. The energies that make up the veil, and the veil was right. So, hi, people. Welcome to this week's reading. And this week we're going to be centering on the economy, the American economy, and the world economy in general. My ancestors actually wanted to do this a few days ago. And like I said, the winds told us that I was too tired, or I was doing too much, or I had to rest. Anyway, those of you who've been with me for a while and who watch almost every video, you kind of know that I did say that coronavirus was going to bring an end to the economic the way the economic foundation, the way the economics are built. I said that countries that were being bolstered because they were run by white people, or they had more white people in them, like Europe, are going to crash and fall because the economies were false, right? And I went into great detail about that, but I really don't think I went into detail about North America, which is where I live. Anyway, my ancestors started seeing that America's economic situation was heading for a crash. Woo, boom. And of course, when America crashes, Canada crashes too. So now that I am rested, I can actually, we're going to talk about basic things in the economy, and so first we're going to look at the economy in general. That will be a good 30 minutes, and then after that, if questions are not answered, the questions of gas prices, of interest rates going up, of food, of the housing market, of jobs, and scamming, identity theft, because that's also gone up a lot, and the identity thieves have become very brazen about themselves. Not just identity, but you know what I'm saying, just scamming in general. They've become more brazen. They're very excited. Coronavirus dropped a lot of security measures that they couldn't get past, and they managed to get past it. Then of course we're going to talk about businesses crashing, even the businesses of the chosen, right? We're going to discuss that. If it's not answered within those next 30 minutes, then you know what, or 45 minutes, then we are going to do like specials on each and every one. So today we're doing America's economy, and of course Canada's economy, North America's economy, because really it's basically one economy. They work together, right? So we're going to check out the economy. So the board of the Bantu is now, I'm being told, okay, and this is a 5-minute tutorial, okay, on why ancestral functions have functions occur, okay, to the Bantu, especially to where I come from. Having an ancestral party is something that families do once a year at the very least. Some do it 4 times a year, some 3 times a year. We call it the beer party, the whatever, but there are ancestral functions that occur, and this is the reason why. For metaphysical wealth and health. Okay, we go to these functions in order to be blessed, in order to be given metaphysical wealth, and in order to be given health. I've been through it. You all know that. Those of you who've been on this journey with me know that. You know that. You've seen it. Okay, because I live my life out loud. You have seen it. So having my ancestral function in July in Houston, it's for me to ask for my health and my wealth, okay, and for my ancestors to give me health and wealth. Ancestors hold metaphysical wealth. Okay, you have to release that metaphysical wealth from their hands. It has to float to you in order for it to become physical. So I am going to shake my legacy out of my ancestors' hands July 9. And everybody who's going to be in that room is going to be shaking their legacy. Okay, July 9. And there can't be a better time for it because we are heading for an economic crash. And I thank God, I'm going to be shaking my ass because that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be dancing. We're going to be dancing and we're going to be eating and we're going to be doing rituals and we're going to shake money. Yes, money. Let's call it what it is. We're going to shake money and health out of our ancestors' hands and into our hands so that by the harvest time, which is September, most of us are going to harvest. And that's why I'm doing the ancestral function. My apologies for not teaching you all. My apologies for just thinking that you know this. And believe me, it works. It works. When the patriarch calls for an ancestral function and the witch doctor presents themselves, by the time those who are under that patriarch leave, things change for them. Some of them get jobs who couldn't get jobs. Some of them get married who couldn't get married. Some of them start walking a little bit and when they couldn't walk because their health was so bad. Okay. So I hope you still all join me. I am going to talk about this to the last minute because tomorrow is not promised. Nobody knows what's going to happen next year. This is what I have learned. I have learned that as a black person, yes, I will say it, as a black person, yes, I will say it, as a black person, I cannot waste a single second of my life. Because you know what? Life is so short and we die and most of our lives are miserable or we live them in fear, pain, loneliness, which we also share with all Caucasians, but we have a lot of fear, a lot of pain, a lot of societal rejection. I mean, the ground we walk on is rejected. So, you know, since I'm black and I'm about my business, I'm going to do this ancestral function 9 July like there will never be another ancestral function ever. Because God knows what can and will happen to me in my loved one. Of course, the biggest and the best thing that you get out of this is protection. You get an energy of protection that floats from your ancestors. It's like they weave a protective, shroud over you. They weave it over you and it stays for almost a year. I really want that too. Because the attacks don't stop. The dark are about their business. They are more dedicated than the light. And that is why I am doing an ancestral function. I invited you all to join me, but I can't afford you all, so I had to charge tickets. If you want to join me, join me. If you want to bring your drum to beat it there, do so. If you want to bring any musical instrument that you want to play when the traditional instruments are playing and everything else, feel free to do so. This is us rejoicing in our bloodlines, in our legacy, and shaking. Yeah, basically we are extorting the ancestors, okay? The way you extort your mother and the way you extort your father, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We are extorting them because I really want to survive this depression because an economic depression is on its way. Tickets down below in the description box. Okay, I have quite a few people now. I am really thankful, but a whole lot more people and a whole lot more ancestors are needed. Frankly, I don't give a damn about you. Okay, I don't. I give a damn about your ancestors. I give a damn about your ancestors because they are stronger in number. Okay, please bring your ancestors. They will also be cleansed. They will also work with others. Teamwork, 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 teamwork. And in the process, you will get your share. Everybody's going to get their share. Everybody. So, bring your ancestors. Bring your ancestors so that they can give you their legacy. Okay? And I can hear ancestors clamoring, wanting to come. I can actually hear them. They are wanting to come. They are excited. Some of them haven't had this happen for 700 years, since slavery, since they were taken off the shores of Africa. And that humbles me. It humbles me so much. They are excited. They haven't had this happen since they were taken off the shores of Africa. But your ambassador, moi, I brought it to them. And somebody just say thank you. You're welcome. Okay. So there you go. Bring your ancestors, please. They really want to be there. They really want to be there. They really want to be there. It's been more than 600 years for some of them. Bring your ancestors. Bring them home. Okay. The economy. I'm going to start this video here and end it on Patreon, okay, because I'm taking a break, so I'm just not doing 2 videos, but I'm going to start this video here and I am going to end it on Patreon. I'm just putting on the my timer because I don't want to be talking forever and a day. I am doing these readings on a very busy spiritual day for me, right? So let us shake, rattle and roll. Okay, state of the nation. Alrighty, the nation that is North America. Because really, Africa is not going to be that affected. Africa is not going to be that affected. Asia is not going to be that affected because the economies were not false. The people who are going to be affected are mainly those who had false economies. Europe had a whole entire false economy. It relies on other countries, right? Europe is only Germany. Germany is the only one that didn't have a false economy. The rest of Europe has a false. Germany and Sweden. The rest of Europe has false economies, so they're going to feel the big sneeze. Okay, America's economy, though, was supposed to weather it. It was supposed to weather it and go, but it didn't take into perspective the fact that they used China a lot. And slavery has always been in existence, and slavery bolsters up North America's economy, both America and Canada. Slavery by another form. Okay, and this is what my ancestors mean. My ancestors said, well, those 2 countries were built on slavery, Canada and the United States. They were built on slavery, and the economy was based on slavery. So, when they could no longer find the greater number of slaves, meaning the prisons were not enough, and all these other things that they do were not enough. When you're an immigrant and you come to Canada, they literally force you to volunteer, work for free for so many years, man. You can work for free for like 20, 30 years in Canada. They can literally do that to your ass. Okay. And they'll be saying, it's a good thing. You are volunteering. And then they'll take your immigrant kids and make them volunteer too. That's slavery. Slavery packaged prettily. It's slavery. So my ancestors were saying, before I begin the reading, my ancestors, they said that these are 2 economies that rely on slavery to exist. They literally live for slavery. So since they couldn't get enough slaves, okay, in their own countries, they had to look for slaves elsewhere. And that's where China comes in. These people worked in the worst conditions, 16 hours a day, barely getting paid at all, dying on their jobs, some of them, right? And all the products were going to the United States, and they were working for the United States, and they were working for Canada, right? And then along comes coronavirus, and the slaves die. It hits China the most. And it hits the lowest the most. They died. And the Chinese are still going through a difficult COVID. No matter what they say, they are going through the most difficult COVID ever. Okay. And they are dying. So the slaves are dying. The slaves in the plantation are dying. Therefore, the slaves cannot produce. The other day in the newspaper, they said that the top 1% of the United States has lost like trillions of dollars in the last few months. And of course, when the big kahunas lose money, we all feel the effects. So let's look at America's economy. Look. Who shall I call? Joe Biden. Because, he's the big kahuna, right? I'll call Joe. Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Okay, so Joe Biden walked into the plate stumbling. He fell a couple of times. He got up. He stumbled, sat down, looked dazed. And then something amazing happened. Something shocking happened, right? Something really amazing and something shocking happened. A black woman walks in. She's straight. She is thin. She is like regal looking. She is tall. And she walks in and she sits next to him. And I'm like, who are you? Oh my God. She says, the President of the United States. You first said America before you said Joe Biden. Are you past, present, or future, lady? I'm the here and now. I am the power behind the man. Can you not see his mind? Can you not see that half of him is not there? Who do you think is running this country? Somebody has to. I may not get the accolades and nobody may see me, but I'm running this country. And my progeny shall be well compensated as I am being compensated. There are many black people who do things behind the scenes and we make money. This is why you don't ask a black person, how did you get wealthy? How did you make your money? You're here to ask questions about the economy and you have called him to answer, and I am sitting next to him because I am America right now. Okay. Cherise. Her name is Cherise. Cherise? Cherise. Cherise. Reed. Cherise Reed. She's 56 years old. She is one of Biden's people, I guess. She says he's my person. I'm not his person. He is my person. America will never accept anyone like me. That's not true. That's not true. She says, in the future, it's not true. But right now, it is true. Had I run for Democratic president, I would have lost. Because of America's ways. I wasn't really wanting surprises. Grandma says, don't whine. I really wasn't wanting surprises. She says clearly, this is a very upright soul, very well spoken, came from a great deal of wealth. She says, no. We were always the brains behind the master. No need to raise your head. Keep your head down. Do your job. Everyone is proud and money is made. Okay. I still don't want surprises. Oh God. Okay, so let's get back to America's economy. Okay. Joe really is out of it. Okay, ain't gonna lie. Joe is really out of it. Okay, he is out. Out. Okay, so America's economy, the state of America's economy right now. See, heavy losses, heavy losses. The state of America's economy, state of America's economy, more losses. Oh yeah. Lots of losses. America has got a very huge economy, a huge loss of money. Just like a few months ago, few weeks ago, the US government lost a huge amount of money. They are bleeding money, and there is a loss of freedom. A loss of freedom for the US government in the future. So this is a situation they have experienced before, and they are taking it from history. They are taking the solution from history, right? So this is where we're at right now. America is working very hard. There's a potential deal on the table. It's going to work out for them, though, the potential deal. There's a potential financial deal on the table. They are talking to someone right now. They have no money. They are broke. They have gone to somebody who sits on a hell of a lot of money. Is it a country or a person? China. That is just blowing my mind. China. They are talking to China about a loan. China has said they will loan the money. They are talking to China about a loan. They are sealing a deal with China for a huge amount of money, and they are going to get it. China is going to loan them the money. Yeah, China is going to loan them the money. This deal looks equal on paper, because Americans are, it looks equal on paper, but looks equal on paper. It looks equal on paper, but it's not. It's not equal on paper. The point is, in the future, now I'm hearing that it's, again, they told me this before, that it's an individual Chinese person who's loaning this money, right? This individual Chinese person who's loaning this money, rather than the Chinese government, yeah, is taking, they're going to take out a huge chunk out of America's economy in the future. So what is America trying to avoid? Complete and total crash of the economy. Okay. So the deal is working out. They're trying to avoid. The government has no money. I just keep getting bombarded with messages. The American government has no money. Okay. I'm gonna ask again for them to show me the economy. Okay, America, show me your economy. America, show me your economy. America, show me your economy. Okay, a huge loss. Okay, a huge loss. They're trying to go back in time rather than go forward. The solution to what is happening to America right now is going back in time rather than going forward. They are trying to push through. But we're about facing the actual crash. We are in the crash. It's not about America's economy is going to crash, people. It's about America's economy has crashed, just that no one has been informed of it. But it has crashed. It has crashed. Okay. It has crashed. It's gonna take a couple of years for it to right itself, but at heavy loss for the United States, and a heavy loss for the United States. So it's like, it's really hard to read economies. It's not my expertise because I don't like math and I don't like. It's like they're trying to turn. They're trying to turn back the clock. They're trying to reinstall the system that has crashed. They're not recreating a new economic system. No, they are trying to reinstall the economic system that has crashed. They are trying to go back to that system. Okay? Basically, they are not recreating anything new. They want to keep what has crashed. They want to keep it with a few tweaks. So what has crashed? I mean, we kind of know about economic inequality. What has crashed? What has crashed? Describe the system. Describe the system. Describe the system. What has crashed? Capitalism. The system in which one person holds more than everybody else and then doles it out bit by bit to everybody else, and then only a few are allowed to rise, but the most are intentionally pushed down with new laws. You know what I mean? To keep them down. New economic laws. She says it works. The good lady says it works. It has worked for hundreds of years. Why would we not bolster it? We needed the money to bolster it. We needed secret funding in order to bolster the system. Not, the system that is in place. So basically, they couldn't get this money from maybe a bank. Because what they are doing is bolstering the system of capitalism, which keeps others down, and the others don't even see that they are being kept down. She says, regrettably, it has to be black people. Okay, somebody has to be an underclass, and regrettably, it has to be them. But they've had hundreds of years to develop themselves, and they have not. They've had hundreds of years to elevate themselves and not be the minority race that has to hold the bottom. Just as someone holds the top, someone has to hold the bottom. And the bottom crashed. Anyway, it's not like they're the lowest. It's like we have all these other Asians that are working for us for nothing, next to nothing. Those are the lowest, and then the black people. And they have to hold the bottom. They just have to hold the bottom. That's their job. That's their job. Hold the bottom. Keep the bottom safe. Okay? So that the rest works. And when you're at the bottom, it's difficult for you to lift yourself to the top. But we could give a little help to one or two, but we don't need you at the top. We need you down there to keep holding the bottom. Okay. Thank you. What else can I say? Okay. So this is the system that they are trying to uphold. Okay. Let us go to bread and butter issues. Will gas prices go down? Will gas prices go down? Will gas prices go down? Yes, they will. I would say in few days, few weeks, few months. I'm not good with time, so I'm not going to open my mouth to even say it. They will. But right now, today, they won't be. I say give it a couple of weeks on. They will go down. Okay? You got the answer to that? Why did they rise in the first place? There was no gas. There is a shortage of gas. And there's a shortage of gas because there were no workers. She says manufacturing is not the only thing that has fallen. Baby milk is not the only thing that has fallen. Of course, we said baby milk, it was because of other issues, but everything has fallen because of lack of products, and there's a lack of products because of lack of employees, lack of manpower. The raw material is there, but there's lack of manpower. If the Americans themselves had to manufacture a lot of this stuff, they would have to accept a permanent increase in their groceries and their food and everything, because we have to look fair and we have to pay the minimum wage. So yeah, only 10% of what Americans consume is made in America. Is too expensive for anything to be made in America. But they're at the top of the ladder. They're at the top of the food chain. So it makes sense that they consume more and want to pay less. Paying less for something is a privilege. People say no to slavery, no to slavery, when at the end of the day, they are all slave masters. Somebody has to work for free in order for others to live the luxurious lifestyle. Her words, not mine. Okay. On that note, I'll see you all on Patreon.